Sunset students, today I'm going to show you a resource to use for your argumentative writing. Remember that the library databases are at bit.ly/BSD research. That will take you to this page. And the one that we're going to be using today is Opposing Viewpoints in Action, this one with the black and the white arrows. But don't forget, because you're off campus, you will need to click here on the passwords. And maybe you could just save this document into your Google Drive, and you can see right here the passwords that you're going to need for Opposing Viewpoints. All right. The reason why Opposing Viewpoints is such a great database to use when you're doing argumentative writing is that it gives you a list of so many topics that right now are controversial or have different points of view. So when you first open up Opposing Viewpoints, you are going to have to sign in just like what we had saw back here under our password. Make sure you do it right. Ossless. And now you're in. So Opposing Viewpoints has all these issues right here that have been updated in their website. And a lot of these are great topics to use. But I like to look at, there's 476 issues that you could choose. And what they've done here in Opposing Viewpoints is found all different types of topics that are controversial. So about the Flint water crisis, if you want to talk about racial profiling, and maybe police brutality, or what's happening right now with global warming and climate change in our world. There's just so many topics here that would be great to start with. And the thing is that once any one of these that you choose, the reason why this database is so nice is when you click on it, it's going to get you started with a research starter right away. So if you start from one of those topics, or you can search, but if you start from one of those topics, I would encourage you to start here at your research starter. Research starter usually comes from an encyclopedia source or a reference book, and it kind of gives you what the overall issue is about this topic. So for example, it's giving you some of the main ideas. What is climate change? What is the controversy about it? What do people are predicting what will happen? And what is the response for and against? And what are people, what is the controversy here? So what's really nice about this first article is just it helps you kind of get a frame of mind of what is it that you're going to want to talk about. A couple features that are helpful. If you want it translated into another language, you can do that here. If it's easier for you to read the article when the font's a little bit bigger, which I like to do, put there. If you want to have the computer, let's move this out of the way. If you want to have the computer read you the information, you can select a paragraph and click on listen. Let's do that again. Select a paragraph and click on listen, and the computer will read you it.
The terms global warming and climate change are often used interchangeably. They have different meanings. Climate change describes long-term shifts in the Earth's weather.
I don't know about you, but my comprehension is a lot better when I'm listening to the article read to me as I'm reading along. The best thing that you really need to do, though, is save your article to Google Drive. It will ask you what account you want to save it in, and probably have you sign in on your Google account, and then it will send your Google Docs directly to Drive. And what that will look like when you first open up drive.google.com, it is creating a folder for you in your Drive. And the folder is going to be your Opposing Viewpoints folder, Gale in Context Opposing Viewpoints. And inside will be the article that you just selected right here, this global warming, and there it is. So it's nice. So you can save all of your articles that you find for your research topic in one folder. They are going to give you other related articles, related subjects, and don't forget that all of the Opposing Viewpoints databases provide you with the MLA citation that you can add to your annotated bibliography. So just copy and paste that into your document. So the Research Starter is a great place to get started, but after you go through your Research Starter, what really can be helpful is the rest of the resources that have been curated here. They have these viewpoint articles. There's 507 here. These are articles written from a particular point of view. So in the letter that, after you do your research and you're going to write a letter, you're going to want to take a stand. You want to write a letter explaining your point of view. So some of these viewpoint articles might be helpful. You might want to look at a few other reference books because that establishes your credibility when you can say, according to this source or this reference. You may want to use some primary sources or some stories to create kind of that emotional connection. And you might find those in magazine or news articles. And it even gives you a few websites. So it's kind of nice. The Opposing Viewpoints database is kind of like curated all these sources for you, and you should be able to find enough variety of articles so that you can get research in order to do your letter. So don't forget, we started at bit.ly/BSD research, and the database we used was Opposing Viewpoints, and you will have to know your password when you log in.